Today on Keeping It Real.
In the Greater Gathering, it's a ministry that was birthed out of bringing churches together.
Worship is just phenomenal. The presence of God that is in that place.
I'm going to tell on some people today. I remember seeing some people cheating because they was going from one class to another, just trying to get in what they could. I think I was one of those people. I would sit in one class, I'm like, I need to go hear what God is saying. But it was just so good.
Yeah.
Every teacher, every minister, every leader.
Kristen Maddox overcame a 12-year addiction. Now she pulls others out knowing that some have escaped death for the last time. Shauna Butler understands the pain of sexual abuse. Now she uses her voice to unhush the little girls inside of women she counsels. This is Keeping It Real.
Thank you for tuning in to Keeping It Real. I'm Shauna Butler, along with my other co-host, Kristen Maddox, and we're so excited about the show today. Our special guest today is Miss Pamela Evans-White, and she's not just a special guest, but she's a special friend of Kristen and myself.
Yes.
We've been knowing her for a while. We've been doing things in ministry with her, and so I'm excited to introduce you to our friend Pamela. Hi, Pam.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm good.
Thank you for being here. I know you have a whole lot that you want to talk about. I know that you have a ministry called Greater Gathering.
Yes.
And I know that there is a conference coming up soon, but I just want you to tell our viewers about yourself, who you are, what you represent, and about your ministry.
Yes, absolutely. Again, my name is Pamela White, and I am with the Greater Gathering, which is a vision God gave me in 2011. I am married with 2 children. I am highly involved in ministry, and I am in grad school at this particular moment, so life is extremely busy for me.
Yes, it is.
Yes. In the Greater Gathering, it's a ministry that was birthed out of bringing churches together and just allowing churches from different organizations, different denominations, just to come together under one house. Because, and ultimately in the end, we worship one God and one Lord. And so that was the whole purpose behind the Greater Gathering.
I know last year I had an opportunity to go to Greater Gathering and even teach at one of the workshops there. And, you know, it reminded me of when I was a little girl, when we were, maybe every 3 months, our church would actually go and visit other churches. And so it was nice just to be able to go into other ministries with the whole church. And you don't see that too much anymore today. And so at the Greater Gathering, it was so refreshing to have different denominations under one covering, serving one God.
Yes.
So that was really amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I know, you know, the purpose always stays the same for any vision, any ministry, but the vision kind of does change. And I know in the beginning, as you started, you know, the vision was to unite the church, and you had different locations that you did that. But last year, God did something awesome, and He kind of changed the vision a little, didn't He?
Yes, He did. As you mentioned, in 2011 was when we started the Greater Gathering, which ultimately, again, it was about bringing churches together, about building the community. And so at the end of 2013, I started to pray and say, God, do you want us to continue with going to different churches? What is it that you would have us to do? And as I began to pray, I heard the word empower conference. And I'm like, okay, God, that's not what we've been doing the past 3 years. Are you saying change? And He said yes. And so after getting with the team and just kind of talking about things, and that's where we went in 2014 as we held the very first Empower conference in Ponchatoula.
I was excited. It was amazing. It was amazing. Like every teacher that was there, every minister that was there, they brought it.
Yes.
I mean, I still play my CD in my car and just listen to it because, I mean, everyone brought something. You thought, okay, this is it. Nobody can top it.
Yes.
And then you go to the next class or the next ministry or whatever, and it was even more. God was giving you even more.
Yes.
I really, really enjoyed it. Just listening to the different ministries, them coming from a different angle. And at the end of the day, they brought it all together.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really. They really did.
And I know, too, that the worship it is just phenomenal. The presence of God that is in that place. And It doesn't matter if you're there because you need a word, or if you're there to worship God, or just to be around other believers, which is encouraging in and of itself. The atmosphere of faith that is in that place, where, I mean, really and truly anything can happen. I mean, miracles that take place and words that come forth. I know I was blessed to receive a word one year that was powerful, and I'm still holding on to that word, you know.
Yes, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you received a word on Friday night from Apostle Rodney Robertson, and then Saturday morning, it was like Pastor Gustav came back and just confirmed some things that were spoken. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm really excited about this year. I'm just so excited. I can barely wait. So when is the conference going to be this year? What, tell us a little bit about that.
The Empower Conference this year is going to be July 16th through the 18th. So that's a Thursday, a Friday, and a Saturday. And all of the classes will be in the evening as they were last year, beginning at 6:30.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, I want you to tell us a little bit more about the teachers and ministers that's going to be there. We just want to we're going to get a sneak preview of what's going to be happening. So when we return, more with Pamela White.
Today, girls will die as a result of abuse that went too far, drug overdose, and even suicide. It doesn't have to end like that. There is hope. Hi, I'm Kristen Maddox, founder of A Door of Hope Ministries. A Door of Hope provides free services to girls and women that are stuck in a vicious cycle. Some have escaped death for the last time. Without a place to go, they will return to the streets, their abuser, jail, or even worse, end up dead. Let's rescue them by providing a home where they can come free of charge to receive the healing they need. There's a cry in their souls for freedom. We're responding to their cries. The question is, will you help us? Visit our website at www.adoorofhopela.com or call 225-665-HOPE. Together, we can make the difference between life and death.
I'm Pastor Philip Pimlott, and this is my wife Kelly, and we want to extend a special invitation for you to come and visit us at Heartsease Family Life Church. Heartsease is a safe place for you and your family, a place where life starts, love happens, and purpose is revealed.
Our church is located at 12112 Florida Boulevard, and our services are Sunday mornings at 9 and 11 and Wednesday evenings at 6:45.
For more information, check out our website, hflc.us. Welcome home.
My name is Tamara Evans, and I'm the proud owner of Tamara Cleans, a locally owned and operated residential and commercial cleaning company, where we specialize in custom cleans for your home or office. We cover Ascension, East Baton Rouge, and Livingston Parish. Call for your free quote today, and always remember, don't stress, let Tamara clean the mess.
Welcome back to Keeping It Real. We are here today with our good friend Pam White. She has a ministry called The Greater Gathering, and their vision and their mission is to unite the body of Christ and to unite the church. And you were just sharing with us a little bit about the Empower Conference coming up in July.
Yes.
And, it's interesting because there's so much involved in such a short period of time. I mean, from breakout classes to corporate, time together all, at the same time. Can you share a little bit with our viewers what they can expect at the conference?
Yes, the Empower Conference, I want you to know up front that it's free. It is a free event. And during that time, there are breakout sessions. There's different seminars that are going to be taught by different people. Some are pastors, some are ministers, some are just leaders. So they're all going to be coming together at once. And at the same time, there's going to be a youth conference going on. Wow. And at the same time, there's a children's conference going on. Awesome. And while parents and families are able to come together under one house, under one roof, and just be able to worship God. And there's nursery. It's all all free. Everything is absolutely free.
That's so good, because then the whole family can come and
Yes.
everybody's getting that word in at the same time.
Yes.
I know last year I brought my kids, and so they were with the youths, and oh my God, they came in, they was just full of it. They really enjoyed themselves, and I thought maybe I should have been in y'all's service. It was really, really good. I remember our drive home from Hammond. My daughter and my son, they were so engaged in conversation about what they had learned in the youth service.
Yes.
From the time we left the parking lot until we got to the house, they were still talking
Yeah.
about what had been imparted in them in that youth service. And so I'm excited about getting them back there again this year.
Yes, great.
Now let me ask you something. As far as the breakout classes, can you choose what class you want to go to, or is it?
Absolutely. That's the way it's designed through registration, that you can choose. There are about 5 to 6 different classes on each night on Thursday and Friday that you can actually choose from those classes. However, you can only choose one of the 5 or 6. And I know last year that was an issue. People had some trouble trying to decide where they wanted to go. So I just encourage people to pray and see where they are in this particular season, where they are now in life, so that they can choose a class not based off of what they want, but what they need for this particular time in their lives.
Right, that's good.
And that's so important, because everyone is in a different season in their lives.
Yes.
They may be going through different things, whether they're in ministry or whether they're not in ministry.
Right.
Whether they're in the valley or on
Yes.
the mountain.
Yes, yes.
And so just being able to choose, sometimes it's really hard to choose
Yeah.
too, because
Yeah.
they're so good.
Yes,
Every one of the
absolutely.
classes are so good, and it's sometimes hard to choose which one, but we're all at a different place, and so there's something for everybody for sure.
Yes,
Yes.
there is. I remember last year. I'm gonna tell on some people today. I remember seeing some people cheating because they was going from one class to another, just trying to get in what they could. I think I was one of those people. I would sit in one class. I'm like, I need to go hear what the others are saying. But it was just so good.
Yeah.
Every teacher, every minister, every leader, it was just so good. I came empty and I left full. I left full.
That's the entire purpose and the intent, is that empowered, that you can come in and you can be poured into, just a time of just exaltation to Him, and looking back that we can receive an impartation from Him. We're exalting Him, but we're receiving impartation from Him. So that's what it's about.
Exactly. Now, could you give the website where they need to go to register again?
They can actually go to Eventbrite.
Okay.
And if they just go to www.eventbrite.com and just search Empower Conference 2015, it's going to pop up, and the actual registration will be available on May 1st. So on May 1st, they can start going in, logging in, and registering for the conference and selecting the classes that they desire.
Okay. So give us a sneak peek at some of the teachers, ministers, leaders that's going to be ministering for the
I would be
conference.
happy to do so, and I would like to say, first of all, we're going to have Miss Kristen there with us.
Wow.
She is going to be teaching a prophetic teaching class, and so it's about hearing, moving into what you've heard and understanding who's calling, who's speaking. So I'm excited about that. We will have a marital class, actually 2 different marriage classes on 2 different nights. One is called Dancing as One, and so we will have Tony and Lisa Maggio, which is a married couple, teaching that class. We will have Pastor Bernard and his wife Angela Neal actually teaching a marital class there out of La Plaza. We will also have my pastor teaching a class, as he did last year, Pastor Carl Coleman. We have an intercessors class where people who feel like they've been called to intercede or just want to learn how to hear more and how to warfare. And that class is called Lord of the Breakthrough. We're going to have a sip and stir class, which is for leaders. So I'm excited about this class because it's kind of in a setting which we are in today, to where leaders can actually sit down on sofas, kind of drink coffee and tea, and just kind of talk about different issues. And that class is going to be led from some friends of mine who have ministers in Birmingham, Alabama. Let's see, what other classes will we have? There's an empowerment class, which is going to be led by Marvin Anderson.
Oh, I love Marvin.
I know, he's great, huh? He had
Yes,
them
he
cheering.
is.
They had
Yes.
pom-poms and megaphones last year. It was awesome. awesome. So those are some of the classes, and as I mentioned, there's about 5 to 6 different seminars that will take place on each day. But unfortunately, because of the time restraints, you'll only be able to select one class per day.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's pretty exciting. I can't wait.
Yes.
It's like you just want to take part in every class if you can.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I know last year, y'all did video some of the classes. Is that
Yes.
going to be available this year too?
We're working towards that. Last year we were very new at it, and so we're actually hoping to be able to get someone to help us by volunteering some time, because as I stated, this ministry, the way that we operate, everything is free. I just believe that as we take care of God's people, God will allow his people to help take care of the ministry.
Right.
And so right now that's one of the areas where we're lacking, to where we don't have the manpower to
Right.
video things. I mean, we did it last year, but I would certainly love to see it done again this year, but done at a more perfectionate level. So
Exactly.
that's one of the obstacles at this point that we're facing, but I am hoping that we're able to do some more audio recording and in addition to video recording.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I would just like to challenge our viewers, if there's anyone out there that knows how to do video, that God has laid it on your heart to,
Yes.
plant a seed into this ministry. I would say call and plant that seed, whatever it is, because I'm sure not just in videoing, but also if you want to give a donation, because this is a free event, but it's really not free.
Right, absolutely.
It costs a lot. And anybody in ministry knows that when we say free to the public, it is
Right.
free, because we want you to be able to come
Right.
and receive all that you can receive from
Yes.
God, but it does cost us in
Yes.
order in order to hold it. And so, if God lays it on your heart, there's not an amount that's too small.
That's right.
So, if there's something that you want to plant, a seed that you'd like to plant into this ministry, into this event, then what number could they call, or how could they reach you?
They can actually reach me by phone, and that
Okay.
is 985-687-9214. That's my cell phone number.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right.
And can you give them the website again? Oh, you said they go to Eventbrite?
Eventbrite. Yes, that is
Okay.
correct.
And what is the Greater Gathering? You have a website that they can go to, right?
Yes. The Greater Gathering is where the Greater Gathering is where it all began, and that was back in 2011. I was actually sitting at a service, waiting on the service to begin, and it was called Diversity, and it was about bringing people from different race, different denominations, bringing them together. And so as I sat there waiting on the service to begin, there was this song that came on by I think it's Chris Tomlin, I believe, God of this City. And I just kept hearing the words, greater things are still to be done. Greater things are still to be done in this city. And I said, God, what do you mean? And so I could not sleep. I went home that night and I began to dream and have vision on the greater gathering. And I said, God, why can't I sleep? And so I hardly ever keep something beside my bed to just write on, because I like sleeping. But this particular night, God says, get something and sit it there, because he knew he was going to be giving me things all throughout the night. And so I did so, and I just began to write down some things and let God begin to develop the vision for me. And it was about bringing the churches together and building the community.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, we want to hear more about that, but we're going to take a commercial break. So when we come back, we'll hear more about Pam's vision that God gave her.
Today, girls will die as a result of abuse that went too far, drug overdose, and even suicide. It doesn't have to end like that. There is hope. Hi, I'm Kristen Maddox, founder of A Door of Hope Ministries. A Door of Hope provides free services to girls and women that are stuck in a vicious cycle. Some have escaped death for the last time. Without a place to go, they will return to the streets, their abuser, jail, or even worse, end up dead. Let's rescue them by providing a home where they can come free of charge to receive the healing they need. There's a cry in their souls for freedom. We're responding to their cries. The question is, will you help us? Visit our website at www.adoorofhopela.com or call 225-665-HOPE. Together, we can make the difference between life and death.
I'm Pastor Philip Pimlott, and this is my wife Callie, and we want to extend a special invitation for you to come and visit us at Heartsease Family Life Church. Heartsease is a safe place for you and your family, a place where life starts, love happens, and purpose is revealed.
Our church is located at 12112 Florida Boulevard, and our services are Sunday mornings at 9 and 11 and Wednesday evenings at 6:45.
For more information, check out our website, hflc.us. Welcome home.
My name is Tamara Evans, and I'm the proud owner of Tamara Cleans, a locally owned and operated residential and commercial cleaning company, where we specialize in custom cleans for your home or office. We cover Ascension, East Baton Rouge, and Livingston Parish. Call for your free quote today, and always remember, don't stress, let Tamara clean the mess.
Thank you for tuning back in to Keeping It Real. We're here having a conversation with our friend Pam, and before we left off, we were talking about the Empowerment Conference, and I want to know, who are some of the main speakers for the conference?
Yes, we will have Apostle Rodney Robertson back again this year. He will be our speaker on Thursday night. And on Friday, we will have Bishop Levy Knox from Mobile, Alabama. He will be our guest speaker. And on Saturday morning, we will have Pastor Gustav with us from South Africa. And in the youth building, they will have services on only Thursday and Friday night. And so Thursday, they will have youth pastor from Celebration Church in New Orleans, Pastor David Ford. And on Friday night, my friend from Birmingham will be bringing the word forth for the young people, and that's Minister Jeff Givan.
Right.
Yes.
You know, it's like, how do you get, you can't miss this conference.
Yes.
Because the group of people that are going to be ministering, when do you ever get that many people, these kinds of people, under the same roof?
Yes.
You know, at one time. So you've got to make it to this conference.
Yes.
You really do.
Yes. And you know, Pam, before we went to break, I wanted you to share with our viewers how they can go to your website.
Yes. The website is www.thegreatergathering.net. Again, it's www.thegreatergathering.net. And there, it speaks more about the vision. There's a little DVD clipping there that speaks of the vision, and just more information about some of the people who are on the team, and how the vision actually originated and got started also.
So now, I'm sorry. The Greater Gathering, it's going to be held at the church where you attend?
Yes, I attend First True Love Ministries in Ponchatoula. My pastor is Carl Coleman, and I would love if you would allow for me to share a little bit about the vision and where it is. We had been believing God to build a ministry for years. And we just kind of stepped out on faith. My pastor said God told him, do not borrow any money, but he will give to the tithers and to the seed sowers. And that's how we were to build the ministry. And so it took us literally, we started right before Hurricane Katrina in 2005. And we have been in the building now debt-free for over, this year in April, Easter Sunday made 1 year that we have been in our church. And so we built it through just mainly tithes and offering. And so we're just forever grateful of what God is able to do through the hands of just tithers and seed sowers. Yes.
When you're being faithful with your tithes and sowing your seeds. And, you know, visiting your church for the Greater Gathering, the Empowerment Conference, I remember my husband saying, does this church ever end? Because we went in one side and we were like, well, it is so it's huge.
Yes.
And beautiful. And to say that it's paid for.
Yes.
But God.
Yes. Just grateful to him. And so the conference is going to be held there. We actually, the former church, now we call it the South Church location. And that's where all of the youth and the children conferences will take place. The nursery, of course, will be in the main sanctuary, and all of the adult classes will actually take place there. And I know we spoke a little bit about the seminar classes, but the seminar classes will actually be about 45 minutes of teaching and then 15 minutes of question and answers. And immediately following, there will be about a 15-minute break, a transitional period, and we will go into worship that night. So we will have live worship by my church praise team, and we will have some very various other worship teams that will come and lead worship on that night.
And I know your church praise team is an amazing team.
Yes.
They ministered last year in worship, and it was just truly amazing. Really and truly ushered everybody into the presence of God.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to ask you, you know, I know you usually open up the services and the events with prayer. And if anybody knows Miss Pam, she's a prayer warrior. Come on, somebody. She gonna bring it down in prayer. She gonna pull down those strongholds, okay? But I just want to know, what is God saying to you in this season?
Particularly for this year, and when we started out this year, actually the end of last year, one of the things that God spoke was the word life. And that's what we started out in our ministry in our church this year, living in freedom every day. And so as I began to pray and ask God, well, what is it about the Empower Conference? What is it that you want for this? What is the vision? What is the meat, the heartbeat of this year? And he says, freedom and favor, releasing and restoring. And I said, God, that's where we are. It's about restoration, restoring our marriages, restoring broken families, and restoring our finances and all of those things that we need and sometimes that distract us. And so that's what the heartbeat of this conference is about. Whether they're the children, everybody's teaching along the same lines. We're going to empower into the children to teach even the young babies how to pray and what it means to worship God. And so that's what the heartbeat of this conference is, based of Joel chapter 2, verses 25 through 27, where it talks about just restoration, getting everything back that the locust has taken. And so, and when it's done, and realizing that God allowed it. And so because God allowed some things to happen in our lives, he's the one that's going to restore everything back. And we're going to give him glory once it's all restored.
Ooh, that is so good. I love it. I love it. And you know, when God restores it, it's restored.
That's right.
It's truly restored.
That's right.
He does the restoration, and there's nobody else that can come behind him and do anything else. It's done. I just really feel like to compel people, get ready for this conference. You really get ready for this conference, because I know that it really did a work in myself and my kids and my husband last year, and we are still living on that word from last year. And I'm like, okay, God, I know I need to let it go because it's a new word, a fresh word is coming in, but I don't want to let go of it. But that's why I'm going to the empowerment conference, so that I can get a new word, a fresh word, fresh start.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, speaking of restoration in that scripture, God even restores the time. So sometimes, you know, people feel like, well, the enemy has maybe robbed them of years. And God even restores that. And this conference is just God pouring in and bringing together restoration, whether it's in our emotions, whether it's in our families, whether it's in our teenagers, whether you know our marriages, you know. And so I'm excited about it. I'm glad to be a part of it. And will you just tell our viewers again, Pam, how they can register?
Absolutely. You will go to Eventbrite. www.eventbrite, that's eventbrite.com, and just search Empower Conference 2015. Yes.
You're not going to want to miss it. We're all going to be there. You need to be there too.
Yes.
Do you have a story? Send your personal story to info@adoreofhopela.com for a chance to be selected as a guest on the morning talk show, Keeping It Real. Today's episode's closed caption sponsor is Tamara Cleans. Always remember, don't stress, let Tamara clean the mess.